You know what I'm talking about?
No, what?
From Ted Lasso. He was like, dang, that boy moves quicker than the Tasmanian devil, but without all the blah, 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 blah. You remember that episode?
I did. Thanks, you. I just want to get that for a soundbite.
Oh, shh.
Here we go.
This is the Always More podcast.
Hello and hello. It is May 31st, and welcome to the Always More podcast, where we believe there is always more room at the table for honest questions, meaningful conversations, and deeper understanding. Today on the pod, we are talking about Black Queens, Hylian Twinks, unnecessary rants, the best state, and so much more. But first, I'm your host, Christopher Thomas Ford. Sitting next to me for the first time in too long, Harley.
It's about damn time.
Oh, it's about damn time. In a minute, I'm going to need a sentimental man or woman. Pump me up.
And sitting next to her, we have Timothy Allen Lichty.
Hello, hello. The music just turned off. I didn't realize it did that.
Very, very abrupt, I think.
No
We are your
more
hosts
welcome.
for the day. We are
Hey.
talking about all kinds of things on the Always More podcast, as we usually do. I will be providing snarky commentary, and we'll get started with everything we've got going on. How you guys doing? Snarky commentary. That's the thing I'm best at in life.
Is that the best thing?
Probably.
Yeah.
Either that or just like
Good rebuttals. Good, like,
That's
commentary.
definitely
riffing
true.
off the
Yeah.
riffing off the dome.
Yeah.
Yep.
This
But not in like an Eminem freestyle rap kind of way, more like an SNL comedic
improv
kind of way.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
okay.
yes,
What's the one with Pedro Pascal recently? Where he's like, he was in the hospital. And
Oh,
oh my god, that's the hottest man I've ever seen.
you have to meet him where he's at.
Okay,
Babe.
Bob.
Oh,
Oh man, Harley, I'm glad you're back.
me too.
Why are you only here for like 5 days? This is ridiculous.
Yeah,
It should be like a month.
I agree.
For those that are not physically watching, Harley is actually in our presence today.
Yes.
She is
Here.
physically here at the Always More podcast studio.
In fact, she kicked me away from my spot on the table, and now I'm at the kiddie table, and that's how it's working tonight.
Hashtag women's rights.
You set this up. You chose that spot.
We were supposed to have
I was intimidated from afar.
intimidated from afar.
by your presence being here. It's like I need to go to the kiddie
Your
table.
reputation
yeah.
precedes you.
Yeah.
We used to have a round table,
That's
if
true.
you guys remember.
I do remember.
But, you know,
It's heavy.
costs and stuff, you know, had to cut some.
We had to sell it on eBay to buy our microphones or something. I don't know.
Or something.
Probably something. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this show started with our first segment, which is almost as always our Rec and Rev. It's part of the show where we recommend and review some things you may not have seen. Harley, what's your Rec and Rev for the week?
So mine is Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story,
Oh
which
my.
I'm sure many people have actually seen. And it's so good.
I actually started watching that today.
Whoa.
Not actually started watching. So what happened was I was playing video games and Janelle put it on the TV.
Yeah.
So I'm still playing video games while it's on and I'm catching little bits of it.
It's really good. It's very good. If you've ever watched Bridgerton, it's like,
17th century, 16th or 18th century.
yeah, and it's just like historical fiction ? But like, you know, romantic stuff for the girlies or the whatevers.
Romantic stuff.
And yeah, this one is about Queen Charlotte and
Oh.
King George, the like Mad King or whatever they call him. So
Interesting.
that one's more. I don't know if it's like, you know, obviously accurate because the queen's a black woman, which is, you know, not historically accurate, but it should have been.
There you go.
But yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
Cool.
So 12 out of 10. I wish it was longer. 6 episodes did not justify the whole storyline.
So Janelle will probably be done by the time I get back.
3,000%.
Okay, cool, dope.
Nice.
I'll probably watch it with her on her third watch through.
There you go.
Y'all know how she is watching shows.
Yeah.
Once you find like a good one, like I did that with Wednesday, where I was just like, oh, finish this one. I'll just put it on again. It's safe. It's comfortable. I know what to expect.
Yeah. That's how it was like all the shows from like the 2000s. You know, How Much Your Mother, Scrubs, The Office,
Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Good stuff.
I feel you.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. I rewatch shows too, mostly because Janelle wants to rewatch shows, but it doesn't really bother me. Unless, like, I really want to see something new, and she's like, I don't have the space for that. I'm like, all right, fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Hunter's seen, like, every movie known to man. He's like, you need to totally watch this. And I'm like, I might have to clear some of this hard drive before I can take in anything else.
It's like an Etch-a-Sketch. You got to shake it out.
Here you go.
Erase some stuff. Tim, what's your Wreck and Rev?
The
I noticed in
narcissist-
the notes you left it blank.
The Narcissist Cookbook.
Why is it on this one but not this one?
Because I'm not using internet on my old laptop.
Uh,
I can email, but the Gmail, I don't know. Google Drive is dumb on this computer, so I need a new computer, guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Anyways,
agree.
The Narcissist Cookbook. I think I've mentioned one of his songs in the past, but I wanted to give a shout out because I've been really just digging to his music lately. His description on Spotify says he uses 5-round rapid storytelling and powerful songwriting as a siege weapon trained on the barrier between the stage and the audience. An irreverent, unpredictable, and imminent voice in modern spoken word. It's really good stuff. I think I showed you one of his songs in the car, Chris, the other day when we went to the Dallas game.
Yep.
I've really been liking this stuff. It really hits home for me. It really, spoken word, and it's a blend really, but a lot of the songs are really dealing with mental health and dealing with crazy hard things, and yeah, it takes time for the songs to seep into you, if that makes sense. Like the songs, even if they're fast paced and fast tempo, they really just kind of seep in, and I kind of like that right now. So,
Nice.
The Narcissist Cookbook. If you need some music that is not totally generic and everything else, not that everything else is bad, but just if you need something different, I recommend The Narcissist Cookbook.
But not like too different where it's like, oh my God, I don't know if I can anticipate whoa, that was freaky.
I don't know if it's like that.
It's not like Seabat.
Right.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like
The-
electronica music.
Kinda.
I guess it's
not that.
close.
It's spoken
have
word.
you ever heard a train whistle?
I mean, I know what the sound is, yes.
Imagine if a train whistle were getting beat up in a fist fight, the noises that it would make, that's Seabat.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is like, good music that like you can emotionally and mentally take in
Oh, you
and
kids.
handle.
Your music.
What?
Your train whistle music.
Train whistle. I don't listen to that.
It's not something I listen to either.
It's something you somehow know of. Why?
It just happens to you. You don't seek it out.
Okay, well then I will definitely not seek it out.
I wouldn't suggest you do.
All right.
So my Wreck and Rev is a little game I like to call The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
What?
I waited in line for this at the release party.
Oh, really?
And by waited in line, I mean they gave everybody tickets and you had to wait your turn when they called you. They started giving them out at 11. I didn't get mine till midnight anyway, which is upsetting, but also still kind of cool. They had like a little party. It was great. This game, though, is the newest saga in the Legend of Zelda series, which has been one of my favorite video game series since I was a wee tot.
Wee little Chris.
Wee Chris.
A wee
playing-
lad.
Playing on the Nintendo's, the NES, the Nintendo
Yeah.
Entertainment System. That was the very first one. Ocarina of Time, probably the best game ever made. It's tied with The Last of Us.
Mm.
And this one, so far, has been really freaking good.
I've heard a lot of things on TikTok about it.
Very similar to the last
The
one,
Tim
Breath of
Talks.
the Wild. It is an open world game. You can pick your missions. You can roam wherever you want, explore, find new weapons, items, characters, all kinds of cool stuff. This one, though, has a lot of really cool new mechanics. So, like, the featured tools you can use, you can still, like, move things around using a grab hand. but now you can like rewind time for a couple of seconds back.
All right, Thanos.
You can build things. You can attach things to other things to build things.
Oh.
So like you can attach wheels to an axle, attach the axle to a plank of wood, build that plank of wood up, and you can make yourself a car.
So a Lego game.
More or less, yeah. But as you're doing all of these things, like you figure out the way to accomplish your missions. There's like a billion ways to beat the game. You just have to figure out how you want to do it, and it's really fun. I've seen like the mechanic in the game I'm pretty good at is like building cars. Like I can build a car with 4 wheels, but I've seen people build like legit tanks and laser firing airplanes, bomb dropping stealth bombers.
In Zelda?
In Zelda, man.
Is this really even Zelda anymore then?
It is.
I don't know.
It's
Don't
just
feel
like
right.
people like take it to the extreme. It's like, what game are y'all playing? Because it's not the same game I'm playing.
I'm about to say.
Like I can build a boat and I can use a leaf to like add wind to the sail so it goes where I want. These people are building stealth bombers, bro.
Gosh.
But it's so much fun. I'm having a blast. The storyline is interesting. Some of the same characters from the previous games are back, so it's really nice.
I think one
it's
of
a
my
good game.
coworkers plays this game.
It's
I
out
think
there.
They really like Legend of Zelda stuff.
They should. Legend of Zelda is where it's at.
Whoa!
All right
Buddy.
there. All right there, Tiger.
Well, I get defensive of Zelda, man. I'm telling you.
Don't get me started.
Don't get me started.
Speaking of which, great segue. We're going to head into our next segment, which is Don't Get Me Started. This is a part of the show where we rant about something that probably doesn't deserve a rant.
Yes.
Tim's going to pick some random words, and we're going to go from there. I'm going to say Harley goes first.
Oh, poopy, stinky.
All right, Harley. You have your word.
I have my word.
Are you ready for your word?
No, because
All right.
it's gonna be hard.
60 seconds on the clock, and go.
I'm actually gonna do 30 because I'm lazy, but my word is wheel, and you know what they say, don't reinvent the wheel, and people tend to do it all the goddamn time. It's so simple. Simple mechanics. Simple as Chris was explaining when you build a car. You make a little thing, you put the axle on the thing, and then you get the car. And people like to be like, oh my gosh, I can totally do this whole thing and make it better. And then people come up with whole debates and debacles like, oh, how many more wheels versus doors are there in the world? And then we get a whole existential crisis. And this creates a larger problem than there really needs to be. And I think if we really just focused on the simple things in life, like walking, this would not be a problem. So I'm gonna lock that in. I think wheels are actually essential. They're very important.
Only because we've made them important.
This is true. We did function without them.
Is there an alternate universe where it's
There
the
are no
triangle
wheels?
that is
Oh.
the main mechanism of functionality?
No,
I imagine
because
it's like a
that-
hexagon.
That doesn't roll. A hexagon would be more practical, but not a triangle.
Okay, well,
I
I'll
heard
try.
that joke.
Thank you.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, I appreciate
Smelling
that.
what you're stepping in.
All right, Chris, are you next?
I guess so.
All right, Chris, your word.
Fun fact, rutabagas are vegetables.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
They're
Chris,
basically turnips.
you know what? I'm not going to give you that one because that one's actually too easy.
That's something.
The
you
word
could
the
rant
word is
on.
rent, but I'm not going to make that your word because that's too easy for you.
That's not even a
It deserves a rant.
it does deserve a rant.
Okay. Oh, yes. Thank you, Harley, for this word. Chris, are you ready?
Always.
Your word is weed.
Are we talking marijuana or just like weeds?
Yes.
It's yes. Both of them.
Both of them? All right. Say when.
Go.
Look, man, I don't know if you've ever tried to plant a garden, but there's one thing that I cannot stand, and it's
Lazy.
freaking weeds, man. I'm telling you, like if you plant, you go through all this effort to
Yeah.
plant a seed, you water it, you make sure it gets plenty of light so that it grows,
Cycle of life.
and it starts to grow just a little bit, and then all of a sudden, here come these freaking dandelions trying to strangle the life out of the thing that you're planting. Like if you want squash, no, you got dandelions. if you want like sage or mint or something like that, boom, dandelions, weeds, and ooh, you know what? The rumor weed. Let's get that started, all right? I know you guys are VeggieTales fans. If you listen to us, you've at least watched an episode of VeggieTales. Y'all remember that rumor weed who could not shut the hell up about Alfred being a robot? He wasn't even a robot, but she said everyone knows the story is all over town, and once you repeat it, it's hard to defeat it. Now look at the mess that you've made. The weeds are just, there's no point to them, and they deserve to die.
Very, very good,
Started
sir.
getting real passionate about that one.
Beautiful, my good sir.
Delightful.
I'm just trying to have a garden, bro.
Just trying to have a garden. Oh man, VeggieTales. Larry Boy saved the day in that one, didn't he?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Larry
Larry
Boy.
Boy. Guys, if you don't know anything about Larry Boy, you should take yourself a good 15-second Google search for Larry Boy. His plunger ears, his purple suit. Oh no, what do you have for me?
Tim, your word is meadow. You ready?
Those meadowing kids.
Like MEADOW? Meadow?
Yeah, meadow.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Why the do you want a meadow if we can have mountains?
Wow.
That's all I got to say here, guys. Look, meadows are cool. You can build civilization there. But what fun is that? When you have freaking Mount Everest that you can climb, Kilimanjaro? Guys, K2, come on. Look, meadows are nice and, whatever. They're fine. They're fun. Anyone can get into a meadow. But you know who gets into mountains? Freaking winners, guys. You don't want a meadow in your life. You want mountains. Do you know what else is the opposite of meadows that's just as cool? The bottom of the ocean. Go get yourself a scuba tank and go explore a little bit, okay, guys? Look, you don't want to settle for your meadow. You want to reach the stars with a mountaintop. Get out of the meadow. Get onto your mountain.
I'm actually way more comfortable in a meadow than any of those other scenarios.
More comfortable frolicking in the wind.
I would much rather
through the
frolic.
grass.
My man, y'all ain't telling me about frolicking. That stuff is fun. Are y'all on Black TikTok at all?
No, come on.
Have y'all seen, there was a trend.
Actually, I am a little bit.
There was a trend a while back of like grown black men frolicking in fields. It was like, hey, how come y'all ain't tell me we was frolicking in this shit? Y'all out here frolicking and having fun. I want to frolic. Pretty great. All right, guys. So I think that's going to be all for our intro. It was pretty quick, I think.
Yeah.
Relatively fast. Especially having Harley here. She makes everything take forever.
What? What?
All right, guys. Don't go anywhere.
It's
We're
'cause
going to
I'm a
head into our
woman.
main segment when we get back from this break. Love y'all.
Thank you all for listening to our podcast. Be sure to subscribe and leave a rating on your favorite podcast platform and YouTube. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at AlwaysMorePod.
If you'd like to ask us a question for us to answer on the pod, you can email us at alwaysmorepodcast@gmail.com, or you can call us on our Always More hotline and leave a voicemail question at 254-218-4042.
You can also follow all of our social medias individually and as the Always More podcast. Thanks for listening. Let's get back to it. And we are the opposite of front. That's back, everybody. Yeah. If you didn't know, the opposite of front is back.
I was like, wait, what?
Threw you guys off.
I
You
see
weren't
what you did
expecting
there.
it. Yeah, see? You see what I did.
I'm not in school anymore.
All right,
Know
guys.
anything.
We are today, for the first time ever,
Today.
We are
talking about our main segment, The Best State.
the best.
State.
We will be comparing our personal states of livitude, Texas and Kansas,
Tejas.
Yeah,
as well as just the South in general versus the Midwest in general.
because why not?
Yep.
Have any of you lived like West Coast?
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah, me neither.
I've never even visited the West Coast.
I've been as far
Furthest
as
I've been is Colorado.
I've been as far west as technically Nevada, the Hoover Dam. But like I went across and I went right back.
Nope. Never even been that far.
Did you walk it or did they have like a Segway tour?
What, the Hoover Dam?
Yeah.
No, dude, it's a dam. You fall off.
Well, damn.
I think he means to get to the dam.
No, you drive there and then you park and then you can go.
No, I was just trying to get him to say something that I could respond to well damn with
Oh.
yeah,
because it's a dam.
it is.
Anyway, let's start off our comparisons and our fight for bestitude with the history of our individual states.
A small history.
A small history.
Which is actually a long history.
It's small to Tim.
It could have been longer.
It could have. Okay, so
That's what she said.
Oh.
I made myself sad.
I'm gonna do Kansas and tell
Welcome
you
back, Harley.
the history of Kansas. So, it dates back thousands and thousands and thousands of years, of course, back to Native American tribes who, inhabited the region, which include I think it's pronounced Kansas, Osage,
Might need Chris for this.
Osage.
Osage, Pawnee, Wichita.
I just don't know if that's the white pronunciation, the Osage, or Osage. You know what I mean? Pawnee, I know Pawnee is correct, and Wichita, who obviously lived in the area before the European colonizers, who then moved them, of course, out of all of the areas, but kept all of their names.
Yep.
And we'll get to that in a second. In 1541, Spanish explorer Francisco Vasquez de Coronado ventured into present-day Kansas while searching for the mythical Seven Cities of Gold, which one of the towns is called El Dorado, but they pronounce it El Dorado.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Anyways, however, obviously, Spain did not establish permanent settlements in the region. During the 18th century, French explorers such as Etienne de Vinard, Sieur de Bourgmont explored and traded in the area, and they established temporary trading posts along the Missouri River. In 1803, the United States acquired the Louisiana Purchase, which most of us know, which was sold by France, and that included the land, which would then become Kansas. So the Louisiana Purchase stretched all the way from the Gulf to, I don't know where the tip of it was. I feel like it was in Nebraska.
It's pretty high up. No, it's got to be higher than that.
I thought it was up to Canada
Pretty close.
Was it really?
because it doubled the size of the U.S.
Yeah, it was a lot of land.
You know who would know?
Who?
Lewis and Clark.
Those sons of bitches.
Truly.
Speaking of,
They suck.
the Lewis and Clark expedition, which began in 1804, explored the parts of Kansas as they traveled westward. In the early 19th century, fur trappers and traders began to establish a presence in the region. And so the area became part of the Missouri Territory in 1812 and later the Unorganized Indian Territory in 1825. Then, the good old Kansas-Nebraska Act of 1854 opened up the territory for settlement and allowed residents to decide on the issue of slavery through popular sovereignty. This led to a period of intense conflict between pro-slavery and anti-slavery settlers, earning Kansas the nickname Bleeding Kansas, which sounds horrible.
Yeah.
In 1861, Kansas became the 34th state of the United States. It entered the Union as a free state, which means no slaves, contributing to the growing tensions between the North and the South, of course, and eventually leading to the American Civil War. Thanks, Kansas.
It's all Kansas's fault.
It's all, it really, they were a big contributor. During the Civil War, Kansas played a significant role as a free state, obviously, bordering Confederate-supporting Missouri. I don't like traveling to Missouri. I don't like going there.
Fair enough.
It's not a great, as soon as you enter the state, it just, ugh.
What's that smell?
Especially if you look like me.
It's just not good.
I went to Missouri once. I won't go back if I don't have to.
Right. But the state experienced several skirmishes and battles of the larger conflict, during the war. But after the war, Kansas experienced rapid growth and development, which is wild because people were like, oh my God, we got to get away from all of these terrible places in the South because now everything sucks. And yeah. The expansions of railroads and a huge agricultural boom, because if you didn't know, Kansas is in the, what is that called? The farm belt, the agricultural belt.
It's a lot of farmland.
It's just
It's mostly farmland.
it's just cooking good old.
I think we've said before. There's 3 real people there and farms.
And farms and lots of cows.
Yeah.
I like the cows. Those are the best part. Obviously, the state's economy relied heavily on agriculture, particularly wheat farming and cattle ranching.
There you go.
Yeah, so that's all we got. Take it or leave it.
It's a cow farm. There's gonna be cows outside.
You seen that cow on yonder? You're a good cow.
That's a good cow.
That's a good cow.
That's Billy. That's Billy the cow. In the late,
I reckon.
In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Kansas played a prominent role in the populist and progressive movements, which I did not know. Activists from the state advocated for various social and political reforms, including women's suffrage and workers' rights.
Woo.
Period.
You never expect that stuff out of states like Kansas.
Out of like a farming state.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, well, what else we got going on? I guess we'll give women some rights.
Could be fun.
Here you go. This could benefit
It's called a
us.
ruckus.
Today, Kansas remains an important agricultural state, known as the wheat state and the sunflower state due
It's
to
so
its
cute.
significant wheat and sunflower production. Sunflower is the state flower. So like how Texas has the bluebonnet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it illegal to pick sunflowers there?
I don't think so because they will keep growing. And
just
we
everywhere.
obviously rely on them for like sunflower seeds.
We actually have a problem, guys. We need to get rid of them.
Please.
take them.
Please
Please
take
pick
the
them.
flowers. It has also diversified its economy with industries such as aviation, manufacturing, and energy production. If you didn't know, there's a lot of those windmill turbines
yeah.
there. So they be turning.
A lot of wind out there.
A lot of wind.
Nothing that Texas uses, though, because we're on our own grid.
Yeah,
We don't share the grid with the rest of the country.
Nope.
losers.
All right. I got the Texas one. Should I do it with an accent? Should I try?
Please don't.
Okay. The history of Texas begins with the arrival of Native American tribes, including the Apache, Comanche, and the Chris.
Karankawa.
Thank you, who inhabited the region for thousands of years before European colonization. The first European explorer/colonizers of Texas was carried out by Spanish conquistadors. In 1519, Alonso Alvarez de Pineda mapped the Texas coastline. In 1828, Alvar de Vaca and his companions became the first Europeans to set foot on Texas soil after being shipwrecked on the coast. Guys, there's a fun story there that I really want to tell at a later date.
Okay.
Hold that for later. In the 17th century, Spain established several missions and presidios, forts in Texas, seeking to convert the Native American population to Christianity and solidify their claim to the territory. The most significant mission was San Antonio de Padua, founded in 1718, which later became the city of San Antonio.
You don't say.
San Antone.
Here's your sign. In the early 19th century, Mexico gained independence from Spain, and Texas became a part of the Mexican territory. To encourage settlement, the Mexican government ensured land grants to
Empresarios.
land agents who brought in settlers, including Stephen F. Austin,
Hate that guy.
known as the father of Texas. American colonists, attracted by the generous land grants, began to settle in significant numbers. Tensions arose when the American settlers and Mexican government, mainly due to cultural and political differences such as slavery, as well as disputes. Oh, there it is. As disputes over slavery. In 1835, the Texas Revolution began when Texans, American settlers in Texas, staged a rebellion against Mexican rule. The Texians declared independence from Mexico and formed the Republic of Texas in 1836. The Republic of Texas existed as an independent nation for nearly a decade. During this time, conflicts with Mexico continued, culminating in the famous Battle of the Alamo in 1836, where a small group of Texans defenders fought against a much larger Mexican force and succumbed to them.
Lost.
Lost. In 1845, Texas was annexed by the United States and became the 28th state. However, this led to further tensions with Mexico, which considered the annexation an illegal act. The annexation of Texas was one of the factors that eventually led to the Mexican-American War. Guys, America pretty much just started that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they poked at them. Yeah. Anyways, The Mexican-American War ended with the signing of the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo in 1848, which established the Rio Grande as the border between Texas and Mexico. As a result, Texas gained additional territory, including parts of the present-day New Mexico, Arizona, Colorado, Utah, Nevada, and California. Following its entry into the United States, Texas experienced rapid growth and development. The discovery of oil in the early 20th century further fueled the state's economy. Today, Texas is known for its diverse economy, cultural heritage, and is second-largest state in terms of both area and population. And that's the small history of Texas.
There's a lot more BS.
Yeah, I left out a lot of the racism.
And there is quite a lot.
Yeah.
All of it.
To this day, all of the racism in the United States is centralized right here in Texas.
Right in Texas.
Right here in Texas, get your racism.
Homegrown.
That's what the state fair is based on. I mean, it probably is.
You think you're getting deep fried Twinkies, but it's really deep fried racism.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for let's skip over that. Thank you for the fun history of those two states. Let's move on to our next segment that Tim has for us, which is the weird state laws game.
Yes.
I don't know what he means by this because he literally just put the title there.
Yep.
Yes.
That's all we
I
get.
did this on
Take it or
purpose.
leave it.
All right. Let's play. I'll win.
You guys,
Probably.
don't worry, you got a multiple choice. But there's some really weird, strange laws out there.
Yes.
Like state laws that came into existence when there was like two people that lived in the state, but they just didn't get rid of it, and so it's still there kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people are like, why don't we get rid of this? I don't know. It's kind of fun.
Here's the thing.
It's too much effort to
Right.
get rid of them.
I don't know what you kids are into these days, but I do know one thing. Laws are threats imposed on us by a dominant socioeconomic society. And the police are basically just an occupying force.
Commie.
Go off, queen. So true.
You guys want to make some bacon?
All right. So in this game, I have 10 questions for y'all and a tiebreaker. Whoever gets the most questions or the most right answers wins. You ready to play?
Yeah.
In what state is it illegal to possess an explosive golf ball?
I would assume Florida.
Nebraska?
This is all of the states, right?
All states. All 50
Okay.
states.
Oh,
you
yeah,
said
give us our
illegal?
I have multiple choice. I have
You
multiple
said
choice.
yeah.
illegal?
Illegal.
Okay.
Do you want to
Nebraska?
Explosive.
Explosive golf ball. Nebraska, Florida, Massachusetts, or Alaska?
I would assume Florida because most laws are put into effect
They're the
because
one state to
somebody
have
did
those.
something. Yeah, because somebody did something that other people were like, hey, let's not do that again.
No, they definitely allow it. I imagine it's Alaska. Locking that answer in.
Is that your,
I'm,
both final
I'm saying
answers?
Florida.
You are both incorrect. It is the fine state of Massachusetts.
Ah,
What?
darn
Massachusetts.
Yankees.
Yeah.
I feel like Massachusetts would be like, yeah, do what you want. Have a bomb.
Do you remember the Boston?
In the state where
Boston
Washington, D.C.
Marathon?
exists? I don't think so.
Yeah. Boston Marathon was not too good either.
Moving along. In Nevada, it is illegal to go riding what animal on the highway?
Did you say Washington, D.C. is in Massachusetts?
It's near it.
Oh, that's Maryland, isn't it? It was the other M state. I knew that one.
Isn't it?
It's in West
bo-
Virginia.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's
Did
not
you say
in
Washington,
it.
D.C. is in West Virginia?
It's not
It's
in any
that
state.
area.
Just so
It's
everyone
the
knows.
District of Columbia. It's in that area. It's like
No,
It's
my friend.
Virginia.
No, my friend.
it's on the Potomac.
East Virginia. East Virginia.
I don't know my directions. It's on
East.
the Potomac. I know that.
West Virginia is to the west.
I don't know my directions.
Don't make fun of me if you
It's
don't
one
know
of
what you're
them
talking
Virginies.
about.
I know it's not in Massachusetts.
Okay, what's the next question?
In Nevada, it is illegal to go riding what animal on the highway? Tiger, donkey, camel, or giraffe?
In Nevada,
In Nevada.
like you would have to assume somebody tried to ride a tiger. But
Or giraffe.
I'm going to go ahead and say camel because that seems like the most likely.
What was the second one?
Donkey.
Donkey. I'm going to go with donkey.
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 What was your answer, Chris?
Camel.
The correct answer is camel.
Ooh, got him, coach.
I figured that makes sense.
The desert.
It's a desert state, so I figured that somebody would have to
Yeah,
try.
Someone out there. All right. It is illegal To get a fish drunk in what state?
All of them?
South Carolina,
Oh.
Washington, Louisiana, or Ohio?
Louisiana. That has Louisiana written all over it.
He's right. I feel like
Do you both want to say it?
I want to, but then I also want to say Washington. Because, ocean. I'm going to go with
But
Washington.
Louisiana has a coast.
Yeah, but so does Washington.
They all have coasts except for Ohio, though it does have a lake.
I'm going to go with
Louisiana.
Washington. But I also feel like people will get fish drunk in Ohio.
What's your final answer?
I'm going to go with Ohio.
Ohio?
Yep.
You're correct. It is Ohio.
You're right.
No darn Ohioans.
Nobody would outlaw that in Louisiana. That's how plenty
too
of
much
good
fun.
stories start.
I'm pretty sure that's a sport.
Bass drunken.
Fish drunken.
All right.
That's how you catch them.
Catfish a catfish while you're catfishing. That easy.
All right. In Connecticut, what item must be able to bounce to officially be recognized as that said item? So, like, it has to be able to bounce for it to be legally that item. Is it a pogo stick, a pickle, a bouncy ball, or a phone case?
A bouncy ball?
Wait, it has to bounce to be recognized as that item?
Mm-hmm.
Pogo stick. Anything can be a pogo stick.
I'm thinking pogo stick too.
All right. Both pogo stick?
Yeah.
The correct answer is pickle.
What?
Son of a...
You never heard that before? Like a pickle bounce?
No, Tim. I've never heard of that before.
In order for it to be a pickle, it has to bounce?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
White
because
people?
apparently
How
it's
did
like the
that
right
become a
consistency
thing?
in the mass, like after it's pickled and everything.
I just imagine like chucking
Somebody's
a
like, this isn't
pickle
a
on the
pickle. I'm
ground.
like, what are you talking about? Of course it's a pickle. Oh, yeah?
Yep.
and just max.
All right, guys. Y'all aren't doing so hot on this.
We both have 1 point.
In America, frankly,
Yeah.
you never know what you're going to get.
In what state are animals banned from mating publicly within 1,500 feet of a tavern, school, or place of worship? Oh, California, Kentucky, North Dakota, or Kansas?
Kansas. It's probably California, but I'm going to go with Kansas.
That sounds like a Kentucky thing to me.
I feel like in Kentucky, they would allow it.
I'll allow that.
I'll allow it.
That's all right.
That's just fine by me.
They're just doing their thing.
It's just nature.
It's just nature.
I'm going to stick with Kentucky, though.
All right, Kentucky and Kansas. The correct answer is California.
Dang, I knew it.
Yeah.
I was like, I had a feeling.
All right. Moving along. Audience, I hope you're doing better than these guys are.
Probably not.
In Maryland, it is illegal to take, along with outside food and drinks, what to the movies? A projector, a lion, bell-bottom jeans, or a Wookiee?
Bell-bottom jeans?
Yeah.
What state is this?
Maryland.
A tiger.
I'm going to say a Wookiee.
The one was a lion. Is that what you meant?
Oh, a lion.
You said a lion. You said a Wookiee?
I'm going to say a Wookiee.
The correct answer is a lion.
Yes.
Ooh.
Somebody was like, hey, buddy, you're going to be on the TV. Come look.
I called for help twice. And not a fuck you, what do you need, or nothing.
All right. Okay. Where is it illegal to use elephants to plow your cotton fields? North Carolina, Mississippi, Tennessee, or Texas?
North Carolina.
Mississippi.
North Carolina is the answer.
Son
Son of a biscuit.
All right, number 8. Harley's in the lead, 3-1. Here we go. In Idaho, it's perfectly legal to go fishing while sitting on your buddy's neck. But if you plan on sitting on or in this while catching a big one, you could get reeled into your local jail.
Boo.
Is it A, jacuzzi, B, another fish,
What?
C, a cooler, or D, a giraffe?
Cooler.
I think it's cooler. But I'm going to say jacuzzi.
The correct answer is a giraffe.
What?
I'm so
What
confused.
state is this?
Idaho.
Where are these people
Why are
getting
they
these
getting
animals?
giraffes?
You guys are underestimating these wild animals in this game.
Especially in like a state like Idaho. Like, why do you have that? Why are
I
you
didn't know
fishing
they
with a
had
giraffe?
actually ever seen a giraffe in Idaho.
I just imagine the giraffe like walking through the creek, and he's like,
I think they call it a crick there.
No, that's
It's
a
a crick.
southern thing.
All right, number 9.
Thought.
Number 9. If you're looking to go hunting in a cemetery, which state will stop you dead in your tracks? A, New Mexico.
I'm going to hit you.
B, Oregon. C, Wyoming. Or D, Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
What were the others?
New Mexico, Oregon, Wyoming, or Rhode Island.
Oregon.
The correct answer is Oregon.
Hey!
Chris, getting close back up to recovering.
Poopy.
All right, number 10. While Maine is known for its hospitality and small-town nature, if you catch yourself in a snowstorm, you can't park in front of this store. A, Dunkin' Donuts. B, Ace Hardware. 3, Toys R Us. Or D, White Castle.
Ace Hardware. Duh, it might be Dunkin' Donuts.
Duncan.
You're gonna be like, why are you parked right there? You know we gotta get our donuts and our coffee.
I'm thinking Duncan.
Okay.
I think it's also Dunkin', actually.
Both of you Dunkin'?
Yep.
The correct answer is Dunkin' Donuts. All right. Good job, everyone. Chris, you had 3. Harley, you got 4. All right, but for 5 million points, here's the last one. There's no. This is whoever can get this one first. So there's no there's no list. It's whoever can give me one of the states. You ready?
I'm gonna cry.
Who can tell me first what state is it explicitly illegal to go whaling?
Oklahoma.
Yes. Chris, congratulations.
I knew that one.
I was literally winning. This is not fair.
5 million and 3 points to your measly 4. Suck it, Harley.
I'm never coming back to Texas.
I win again. Ha ha ha.
Yeah,
See,
congratulations.
look, I'm real good at these games, mostly because I cheat. There's no way I would have won that if it weren't for that last one.
No.
We would have tied at best.
I hate it.
Good job, everyone.
Thanks, Tim. You're a scholar and a gentleman.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, that was a fun game.
I'm sweating.
Let's do some comparisons here. Like I said, we're not just talking about our states, even though Texas is way better than Kansas at pretty much everything. We're going to talk about the Midwest versus the South. So the Midwest is one of the 4 census regions recognized by the United States Census Bureau in the Midwestern United States. Who would have known? Commonly known as the Midwest or the American Midwest, they consist of Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, North Dakota, Ohio, South Dakota, and Wisconsin.
Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California. Just the way you
Why
go.
don't we have a B state? That's always bothered me.
Baltimore.
That's a
city.
town.
That,
Yeah.
yeah. We don't have a B state.
Wow. Yeah, talk about that.
But Kiss McNulty.
New state.
I watched
I vote for
Cheaper
Butkus
by-
McNulty.
Cheaper by the dozen
All right.
too.
We also have the South, which is the southern United States. Same thing by the Census Board, yada, yada, yada. Also known as Dixie, the southern states, the American South, Southland, or simply the South.
Who calls it Southland? I don't know a single person who calls it that.
Elvis? I don't know.
That's Graceland.
That was his house, man. He lived there.
Okay. Well,
Anyway, the South consists of Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky, South and North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, Delaware, and Maryland. Let's start those comparisons. What do we have for amusement parks?
So what
These
we're-
are fun sections, fun segments.
so what we're doing is we're coming to a consensus here. There's 3 of us, and whichever one wins these categories is going to be labeled as the best section. So who has the best amusement parks, the Midwest or the South? Now, I think we should exclude Disney World because that's an automatic winner.
I mean, it is in Florida, though.
It's the South, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that's
But
fine.
It's Florida, so
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know.
you have to go to Florida to get to Disney.
Yeah, that's a
kinda
good point. You got to go through a lot of Florida to get there.
You can't just like fly into Disney.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I think it counts.
you have Six Flags, which there is one in Kansas, isn't there?
Nope.
No.
Oh, well, never mind.
There's Worlds of Fun in Kansas City, Missouri. I've never been. Hunter told me it's pretty cool, but
Oh,
it's
Has
just
he ever been to Six Flags?
I don't know. I've been to Six Flags. I love me some Six Flags.
Six Flags is lit.
It
Yeah.
is. The only one I like is in San Antonio. I don't like the one in Fort
Arlington.
Worth. Arlington.
yeah.
Don't care for it.
There used to
Schlitterbahn?
be one in Houston.
Schlitterbahn. Pretty dope. Pretty cool.
Schlitterbahn was lit too.
I like the.
I like the wave pool, lazy river thing.
I feel like there's another amusement park.
Say, Harley, you got to defend Midwest a little bit. You got anything?
I know they have casinos.
There's a Six Flags in the Midwest somewhere.
There's got to be somewhere out there.
Probably.
Even though that doesn't make sense because Six Flags is about the Six Flags of Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's like a lot of casinos with like water parks and amusement parks in them. Do I know of them? No.
Well,
Let's see.
But I think I went to one after a funeral in Ohio one time. So that's all I got going for me.
yeah, I'm sure there's like small ones all over the place, but like as far as any big ones, I can't think of anything.
They have Six Flags Great America. Silver Dollar City. Nickelodeon Universe, that's a thing.
Oh wow.
See, but I've never been to these places, so I can't vouch and be like, yeah, they're so cool.
Six
cool,
Flags
so
St.
fun.
Louis.
Oh, there it is.
They have Great Wolf Lodge in
Misery.
Illinois.
Well, they have that here too.
Yeah.
All right,
Pirates
so
Cove.
That's all.
I think
all
the
of
South
America.
wins.
Yeah.
Are we in agreement?
Yeah,
South wins.
no, the South wins.
Okay.
Especially if you're including Disney.
All right, let's talk about food here. Who wins food?
Oh, the South. But I'm going to try to defend.
Don't.
I mean, okay, you have to consider you have Chicago up there, so I mean that's a
Chicago dogs and Chicago style pizza.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's it.
So true.
You have corn.
If it wasn't for the Midwest, half of your food would not exist.
It's very true. Corn chips,
So,
high fructose corn syrup.
You know those are made originally by natives of the South, right? With maize.
But where's most of the corn made now? Is what I'm saying.
most, we would still have corn, just not as much.
Right.
And that's for the rest of the country too, not
but
just
corn
here.
was also on the west. I
Like
mean,
we can
the East
sustain
Coast.
ourselves with the amount of corn we make. The Midwest is mostly sending corn to like cities and
My
places.
point
like
is that most of the corn in the U.S. comes from the Midwest.
But if you're saying like the South can't have corn because the Midwest has corn,
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
All right,
that
then it doesn't
the
matter.
Midwest is prominent for its corn. It's like the same thing with the wheat. Bread.
that doesn't matter.
I'm not saying you can't have wheat in other states either. What I'm saying is it's prominently in the Midwest.
That's
Yeah,
like
but we're
all we
comparing.
got going
We're
for
comparing like
ourselves.
the top things.
You telling me that corn is not one of the top things in the Midwest?
You think
Not
corn
delicious.
is known in the South?
Not as prominently.
I think corn is well enough in the South that we can sustain ourselves. We
That's
don't.
not
We don't
what
have
we're
to
arguing
rely
here.
on
That's not the
Midwest
argument here.
corn.
I'm not saying that we can't do that. I'm saying it's more prominent.
Okay, fine. The Midwest has us in corn.
If I were to go to someone that's out of Europe, like in Britain or something, like, hey, name a state that has corn in it. They're not going to say Mississippi, okay? They're going to say Kansas or Nebraska or
Or
Iowa.
they're not going to know what the states are because we're a confusing country.
No, you're not going to have
Of, like,
anyone
just
say
definitely
one.
different
not gonna
countries
say
You know
in
what
the
it's going to
South
say?
Coast.
Florida is known for its corn. That's all I'm saying.
Have you seen the map of the German guy? Like in
my
the States,
God.
he's like, "Is this Texas? Texas question mark? Texas question mark? No, this is definitely Texas. Florida question mark? Ohio? Some Western country? No, this is the Western states." Like he has no idea.
All right, you brought up something before we start
Corn?
recording, barbecue. Now, this is actually very divisive because there's
Texas
barbecue
barbecue.
in both sides. Like, you got, well, Tennessee is south, I guess. Because you have, like,
Southern barbecue beats any other barbecue, and specifically Texan barbecue beats any other barbecue,
Kansas has its own barbecue. I know that.
and it's weird.
I can't tell you if it's good or not.
Yeah.
Harley's actually eaten it like 4 or 5 times. She just passes out every time because it's awful.
All right.
She forgets.
Okay, so anything else, though? Like, anything else to defend the Midwest here? I mean, cows. I mean, well, I guess Texas has got a lot of cows.
It's a cow farm. Don't be cows outside.
Kansas got a lot of cows. Like a lot of cows.
Texas also has
There's
a
a
lot
whole
of
lot
cows.
of Angus.
They probably have more cows than they do people.
Yeah, 3,000%. There's probably more cows in Kansas alone than there are people in Texas.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cows.
This is pretty much just turning into our own bias part of the show.
Probably.
Yeah, we hate Kansas. Texas is better.
Midwest.
No, it's not.
We also hate Texas, but for different reasons.
All right, let's talk about cities then, because I feel like this one actually might have a competition here.
I don't think so.
Because you have look. Here's the southern states that I think are arguably good. Okay, you got Austin. You have.
Is
You have
that it?
Atlanta. You got Louisiana. You got
Louisiana's a state.
I
New
meant,
Orleans.
I meant New Orleans.
Okay, New Orleans is
You
okay.
have
Okay, but New Orleans is hot and sweaty and just.
Go
yeah,
in
but
the
you
winter.
have Destin, Florida. You have
You have what in Florida?
Destin, Florida,
Orlando.
where like all the great beaches are.
Oh,
Tampa.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
You have
St.
South
Pete.
Padre Island. You got Houston.
Well, Houston is not great.
Houston's fantastic.
Houston
I don't want
is
to hear
amazing.
no
What
What are you
slander.
talking about?
I love
It takes
Houston.
forever to get anywhere.
Have you
there,
been
and
to
it's-
Dallas?
Yes.
Have you been to
Dallas
Oklahoma
kinda
City?
sucks.
Yes.
Horrible places in comparison to Houston.
True.
What is so
Houston is
great about
so-
Houston?
Houston's just great, and
The
there's
culture.
culture.
What culture?
Yeah. White man.
You got to take a step outside of your comfort
look,
zone, Tim.
No, look. If you're talking about culture, San Antonio's got so much more culture than Houston does. I prefer
No.
San Antonio any day over Houston.
San Antonio
This
has a
feels
lot of
anti-black
culture.
right now.
San Antonio has a lot of culture in the Hispanic communities. Like there's different types of Hispanic communities in San Antonio, different cultures there, yes. But it's mostly Hispanic centered.
Yeah.
Houston is like the melting pot of the melting pot.
Yeah. Yes.
Like you have
Maybe I've only
you
experienced
have
the white
white
parts
people,
of it.
you have different types of black
definitely.
people, Creole, Cajun, Vietnamese, Thai,
Lots
all
of-
kinds of different
Now you're
Asian
talking
cultures.
to you're talking to a guy who used to live like in Beaumont, like 30 minutes east of it. So I've been to Houston plenty of times.
You've definitely only been to the white places.
with your
the
white
suburbs.
Okay, my point is I've been there.
He's definitely only been to like the woodlands and shit like that. Does that sound familiar?
No,
That's
but
the rich people.
Katie.
okay, I know what Katie is.
Yeah.
But that's north. I've only been there a couple of times. I know what that is, but okay, that's not what I'm talking about. My point is
You got to get into the city, Tim. There's plenty of culture there.
Okay, my
Where do you
point-
think Third Coast rap came from?
okay.
Paul Wall, my
Texas
friend.
rap in general.
I got
Houston.
diamonds in my mouth.
Beyonce's
I'm from
Houston.
the South.
That's true. Beyonce is from Houston. Okay.
And
but- okay.
Selena Gomez is from Texas, too. So
She's not from Houston. So
Yeah,
we're
but
not
then-
gonna-
not from
about
Houston, but she's from Texas. So we win everything.
Okay. Yeah, you had me. You won me with Matthew McConaughey. Okay, you don't have to argue about Texas with me. My point is,
How about T Swizzle?
talking about cities
She's like
here
from Tennessee.
Yeah, it's the South.
in the South? Okay, but listen, you got Chicago. Mm-hmm. You got St. Louis.
You got Kansas City.
You got Kansas. Well, that's actually a city.
Kansas City?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
It's in
Wait, isn't
Missouri.
that mostly in Missouri?
It is.
Oh, I guess it's
mostly
still
in-
Midwest. Yeah.
It's both, but it's like
Um,
mostly in Missouri.
Let's see. You have Green Bay, Wisconsin.
You had to Google the cities.
I didn't know such a thing.
You got Columbus, Ohio, where the I
Where the
think a
zombie apocalypse starts.
Hall of Fame is
Yeah.
something music Hall of Fame, I think, is
The
there.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is there.
Indianapolis.
Okay, the South has Graceland. That's Elvis's home.
Yeah, but he was unhinged, man.
Towards the end.
Towards his whole life.
He had a mixed life. He had a hard life. Okay. I look. I'm trying to find a reason not to give it to the South.
It's not
Yeah,
gonna
South,
happen.
The South is better.
It's just not gonna happen. And that's okay.
We set this pod up to fail. I think this episode because this is just our bias.
No, I just
This
think
is
it's
not
a
the Midwest
general,
versus the South. This is the South trashes the Midwest.
Look, you have my vote when it comes to just Austin and Atlanta. Atlanta's pretty cool. I've been there many times, and I
I
like
think
Atlanta.
it's just it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It's the facts.
Midwest,
okay?
you need some more beaches. That's what needs to happen.
Where
Where are they gonna get an
beach?
ocean?
Global warming will set that up.
I was gonna say. I mean, it's coming soon, so we'll see.
All right. Vacation spots. Yeah,
The
South
South.
hasn't got it. I mean,
Who's
yeah.
what do they got? Branson.
Well, I was trying to think of like nature.
That's
like,
Vegas for Christians.
I'm trying to think of like national parks, and actually Midwest actually might have this because you got places like
That's
South
more
Dakota, North Dakota.
Pacific Northwest has
Yeah.
a lot of
But like, if you think of like national parks, you don't think of Oklahoma
No.
or Arkansas
Think of maybe like Nebraska.
or Louisiana.
No, I think of California.
I don't.
But in the Midwest, you
Utah.
think of states
New York.
like Minnesota and not Nebraska, North Dakota, South Dakota. I would say they have better outside national parks than
I know it's great for hunting.
But here's the thing, Tim.
People come to
yeah.
the Midwest for
I'm
hunting.
more of what you would call indoorsy. So national parks are not where I would go on my vacation.
We gotta give Midwest one category.
No, we don't.
I don't
If they
think
fail,
it's
we don't
vacation
have
spots.
to do anything. Look, there's only 2 things in life I have to do, Tim. That's stay black and die.
Yeah.
I ain't got to give the South or the Midwest nothing I don't want to.
Okay, fine.
Nothing they don't earn.
Look, for all you guys out there that live in the Midwest, I'm trying here.
I make no apologies. Your area sucks.
Harley wanted
I
to
don't
defend
think
you guys.
I don't think it sucks. I just don't think it has what the South has. That's just a fact. Like, they just don't.
Look,
It doesn't mean it's not pretty or
I
like
get it. You
glorious.
can find home anywhere. Home is where the heart is. Home is where people
That's
love
not
you.
what we're saying.
But
No,
the South. The South.
it's okay. It just doesn't have what the South has. It doesn't take away from what it does have. But in this particular topic, it don't got it. It just don't got it.
Hospitality.
Oh, I think the Midwest are so much nicer.
I definitely give it to them.
I don't think there's Southern hospitality anymore. That's not real.
And the one that is, it's so much. It's filled with sarcasm.
yeah.
It's
Oh,
Bless your heart.
Bless your heart. Yeah.
honestly, yeah. No, I'll give that one to them.
It used to exist.
The Midwest can have hospitality.
Yeah. I feel like everybody
And-
I've ever met in Kansas has been like so nice.
Yeah.
My favorite part
nice.
of Midwest hospitality is, oh,
Nope.
sorry about that, bud. Oh,
All right, there you go, Midwest. We got you one. All right, last
Very
one.
Nice people.
Sports.
Texas. That's it. Game over.
What are you talking about?
The South has Texas.
Okay, you have Illinois, which has Chicago.
Yeah, but literally every Texas team sucks.
I mean,
It sucks.
the only team that's doing decently this year right now, as far as sporting goes, you have the Dallas Stars. They're in the playoffs right now, hockey. You have Texas Rangers. They're okay. They're pretty good right now. And FC Dallas. They're about, I think, 5th in the league right now. So
Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl.
you have
I'm
that.
just saying.
Dallas
just
Cowboys nor Houston Texans have won a Super Bowl in the last decade. You have
I'm pretty sure
But-
all of the Kansas college teams have beat every single Texas team.
I'm sure it's been vice versa though.
At least this past year, we've been paying attention. They got into the last 4 for basketball, men's. What is that called? The Final Four.
If it's
Kansas-
4 of them, sure.
Yeah, K-State got into that. Good for them. I don't know about the other states, but that's it. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I mean, look, you have teams like, okay, in the Midwest, you have your Iowa Hawkeyes. That's college. They do pretty good. We got Michigan. They have Michigan University. As far as football goes, you have Chicago Bears. Baseball, guys. We're forgetting about Chicago Cubs.
Yeah,
The Cubs.
Kansas City
Yeah,
Royals.
Cubs
I
are
don't know
pretty
how
good.
good they are recently. I think they've been
not.
all right. They've been all right.
They've been all right.
All right.
The Cardinals.
Yeah.
You got
See, it's a little unfair. You know why it's probably a little unfair all the way around? It's just the South has more population, which means there's more things
yeah.
in general.
It is what it is.
I mean, that's just coast.
the Midwest is a larger. It's not a larger landmass. It's more land per person. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's just I see what you're
More
saying.
land per capita.
Yeah, like there's less people
Per square mile.
just a lot
Yeah,
of land.
Yeah.
While the South, there is a huge amount of land, but more people per bit of land.
Because like in New Orleans, you got several sports teams, and I mean you don't have any professional in Mississippi or Alabama, but you have Florida's got a few.
Mississippi.
Georgia's got a few. Carolinas have a couple. So Yeah.
Have you seen all of those TikToks of the girls? They'll be like, "I'm going to Bama," and then they like scream their like future college. They're all really funny, but yeah, a lot of them are like southern states.
I've seen those.
Yeah, they're pretty entertaining.
I feel like the South cares more about the sports, though.
Oh, well, it's definitely a culture thing.
I don't know. The Midwest has got nothing else going for them.
I'm going to say, have you ever watched that 70s show?
Fair.
It's like,
Fair.
That's all they have.
yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, that might be debatable.
I also don't care for sports, so
yeah,
like
I'm not a sports guy, so I don't know.
I think the Midwest is more, and hear me out, I think they're more about like football style sports, like and even hockey, depending on what part of the Midwest.
Oh, hockey, yeah.
And then the South is like baseball, and yes, football, but baseball, like more old timey. I don't know. Blue collar is Midwest. That's what I think of.
I also think of the South as blue collar. I don't know. I think Midwest has also got baseball going for it because a lot of land, lots of baseball, lots of sand lots.
I think when I think Midwest, I think actually
Where did
more
Field of Dreams happen?
Iowa. No. Was it Iowa
I don't know. I
or
just asked you.
Nebraska?
Cornfield.
It was a cornfield.
It was a cornfield somewhere over there. Yeah, Midwest.
If you build it, they will come.
All right, that's all I got. I think South won.
I think so, and that's fine.
Sorry,
We'll give
Midwest.
the last
I
two to the
tried.
Midwest. They can have
I think-
sports and hospitality.
Once
The South gets everything else.
we didn't talk about weather.
Oh yeah, we skipped the weather.
Which would you call?
The weather here
the
sucks.
wind.
Okay, this actually might be a good debate because
Which one would you say wins? Is it the more fun weather or the nicer weather? Because
The better weather,
The
like-
South definitely has more weather.
the weather that doesn't kill you
It's
as
the
much.
weatherest weather.
The South literally can get hurricanes, it can get tornadoes, and it can get like earthquakes. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. The Midwest doesn't get any of those.
Yeah,
they
so
might
that's
have
pretty cool.
Well, they have
They
tornadoes.
get tornadoes, yeah, but
But we're prepared for these things.
Wait. Blizzards. They do have that up north.
Yeah, but they're
apparently
prepared
we
for
have
those.
that here too.
That's a good point.
Yes,
We just had that for like the past 3 years in a row. Global warming is real,
and you've
guys.
also been getting a crazy amount of tornadoes, more so than I thought Kansas was going to have. So I don't know.
I think the South has more weather, so we win.
I think it has worse weather, which means you lose.
It's the weatherest
I
weather.
think I'd give it to Midwest.
It's the weatherest weather.
The only thing that I have learned
Hurricanes just
about
kill us.
the Midwest that is so bad, there is wind, but it cools you off when it's hot outside, which is really nice. And the only thing that I thought Texas was really bipolar when it came to weather, because it'd be like, 60 and then like, 90 in the afternoon, whatever, or like 100, whatever. Kansas can be like 30 in the morning and then 100 by the afternoon. And then windy.
But it's a dry heat. What's the feels like?
No, Texas is way more dry.
Really?
Depends on where
Yeah.
you go.
I don't know.
If
I
we're
feel
talking
like,
Houston, that's like a soup bowl
yeah, you will be moist.
at
But-
all times.
See, that's
Damn.
another thing about Houston.
You're
It's
damp.
moist.
Stay inside. Stay inside. If you don't like it, get out.
If you can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen.
All right, that's all I got.
I think the Midwest wins weather because they actually experience seasons. The South does not experience seasons.
We experienced seasons.
Yeah, and drastic. You
Hot
get
season.
No, not as-
rainy
you get
season.
cold
More rain
really
season,
hot season.
and hot.
and then no rain season.
Kind of cold season where it's foggy in the mornings.
Yeah,
We get all this. All 4 seasons.
I give it. Yeah, I think
Midwest is
definitely
All right,
has the
Midwest
better-
gets weather.
yeah,
Fine,
all right.
whatever. I still think the South beats the Midwest any day of the week. Where would you rather go?
What do you mean?
Would you rather be in the South or would you rather be in the Midwest?
I would rather be in the Midwest with the people that I like.
Okay, assuming the people that you like are going with you wherever you go.
Midwest.
Yeah, I think I like around the
I would rather be in the South.
I like the easy access
Okay,
to
are
like
we-
beaches and things.
Are we keeping the politics?
Ooh.
If we're keeping the politics, then
then I'm going to the Midwest.
then I'll
If we're
probably go
keeping the
somewhere in the Midwest.
politics, I am going to
Move out of the country.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and evacuate. But no, notwithstanding politics, where would you rather be?
Midwest.
South. I'll
I've
probably say
learned
I
to
think the
like
South.
it.
Yeah.
I've learned to love it, actually.
I like Texas.
I like to visit. I've enjoyed the visit, but
Oh, Harley, damn you.
They converted
I was
her.
always like, yeah, Texas, I love Texas. And then I experienced somewhere else, and I was like, whoa, I don't have to suffer every second that I'm outside. That's actually insane.
We lost a good one.
Damn.
Could never imagine.
Hunter.
Freaking Hunter, man.
He's a pretty good salesman.
All right.
Tell him to quit the army. I'll give him a job.
No.
She thought about it for a second. You saw that, right?
But see, I don't want to move back here, especially to this area. Oh, heck no. Do you know what's going on in these schools?
That's fine.
Nope.
I'm trying to leave too.
Hard pass.
I don't want to be here anymore. All right, guys. I think that's enough of that.
On that note,
Let's go ahead and head into our last break. Stick around. We'll be back in a second to do more stuff. The Amanda Show. Welcome back to our nice little hot tub of ideas, our melting pot of perspectives, our soup bowl, if you will, of thoughts.
Yeah.
What was that?
go to bed early.
I need to.
Harley's so tired, guys.
It's been a long vacation.
All right, guys. We're going to jump right into our fan questions. This is where we answer your questions.
Yes.
Nope, that's the wrong
Bro,
one.
come on. Tim is also tired.
There it is. Yeah.
All right, this is where we answer questions you guys have for us. They can be literally anything about anything, and we will answer them as truthfully as we legally can.
Woo.
We also have our new Always More hotline if you would like to call in our questions. They are phone numbered at
254-218-4042.
once more, that is.
254-218-4042.
And remember, that is a voicemail, so you're not talking to anybody live. If you
No one
feel
will
like,
respond to you.
If you feel like you don't like making phone calls, that's fine. We don't like answering them. But you can also send them to our social medias, our email. You can ask us individually over personal message. Text us if you have our numbers. We love questions. This week, the question we are asking
We are being
asked. That's
Being
right.
asked. It's coming to us.
Comes from Shane. Shane asked, "What's your go-to nostalgic comfort food?"
Chicken and rice.
Classic.
That's
my
a good one.
My mom used to make it a lot. It was always one of my favorites.
That's a good one. I think spaghetti for me with like a nice red meat sauce.
Yeah.
And that's because we were poor.
I really like
We have that a lot too. I feel that.
like a canned chili.
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
That's very,
Canned chili.
yeah.
With or without beans?
I like both, but because my dad's from Ohio, we did with beans. So
That's another thing the Midwest has for them. Beans.
it's the only thing we have.
Corn and beans.
Chili. Guys, we forgot chili.
Chili, yeah. Chili's really good up there.
I feel like Texas chili's better.
Yeah, but if you're
But you
asking
add
where is
beans.
chili known for, like where is it? Where if I were to say if there's a state that you have to pick where they eat chili the most, it's not
It's like-
Texas.
I would say Chile.
Oh my God. Okay.
I also think biscuits and gravy is a comfort food.
Oh, yeah,
good
biscuits and gravy.
one.
I had that for breakfast this morning. Janelle made cheddar
Delicious.
biscuits and gravy, and it was phenomenal. Like the phenom. It was so freaking good.
Yeah.
Biscuits and gravy, eggs, bacon, ham, and melon.
Beans,
Golden
potato,
dew melon.
tomato.
I had a really good breakfast today.
Nice.
That's good.
And then I had lasagna for lunch, which is basically spaghetti.
Chris, I am jealous. Not jealous, but like
No,
yeah,
jealous
just
is a
yeah,
good word.
jealous is a good word. You know, I'm not saying your life is perfect, and by no means am I saying that everything is great in your life.
It's not because of
Everything is
mental illness.
awesome.
But if there's one good thing that's going on for you, is your wife's cooking.
Oh, yeah,
My God, man,
Your wife is like the best person ever.
she is. I don't deserve her.
she makes,
Nope.
she makes good food.
She does.
I need to stop by more often.
I
You do.
deserve her.
Well, you decided to elope.
Move to
off
Kansas to the
Kansas.
Midwest where there's more tornadoes and more chili and beans.
You guys get more tornadoes than I do.
Yeah, but ours have
Duh.
cute names.
What?
Like Dennis.
Did he just say Dennis is a cute name?
Very clearly,
What
I am
old
also
man do you
tired
know?
and I need sleep. So before one of us passes out or says something we can't take back, final thoughts, guys. What do we think?
Look,
I think the South wins.
Look, you live where you want to live, except Harley, you need to live down here. But what I'm saying is, look, most of us, we are dependent on the time and place in which we were born. And so if you live in the Midwest, then we apologize for you. Come live in the South, and we can show you a good time.
I would not suggest coming to live in the South with the current political landscape.
No, I'm hoping they come to change it, dude.
I'm thinking what needs to happen is we should just buy a commune and all live on that. Just like make our own food and
I just
keep our own
don't want
bees.
to live here
Yeah.
anymore. It's just not. It's not the vibe. I didn't realize how like chaotic I was living until I went to where there was like a place where I could actually be peaceful and like not stressed constantly. And I was like, whoa, this is a whole new world for me. It's like
Fair
when your
enough.
brain kind of like actually goes quiet
Yeah.
and you're like, whoa,
I don't know what
something's
that's like.
wrong.
Live where it brings you peace, whether that's because of nostalgia or whether that's because you're finding a new awakening or a new home. Go where you find your peace.
What is it like to have your brain quiet?
I've never said I've had my brain quiet.
Oh.
But I imagine that's like the feeling. Like that's what it's like.
If you're listening to
there.
this and your brain can be quiet, please tell me what it's like. I'm scared. All right, guys. Well, thank you all again for listening to our podcast. Be sure to subscribe, leave a rating on your favorite podcast platform as long as it's good. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Always More Pod. Tim, where you at?
You can find me on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and everything at Timothy Luchty. It's L-I-E-C-H-T-Y. My God, I need
Can't
sleep.
spell your own name, bro. You can find me on Instagram as Captain_CT Ford and TikTok as Christopher.Lionheart. Harley?
I'm on Instagram at whatharley, W-U-T Harley, and on TikTok at harleybean.co.
All right. Thank you again for listening and for being a part of the conversation. And remember, there is always more than this. Bye.
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 Hey, love you.
I mean, it probably is.
You think you're getting deep fried Twinkies, but it's really deep fried racism.